We zooming in? All right. I think we can close this. Reference page. So I think at this point we're probably ready to start page 15 in earnest. Scared stupid. So let's start doing the Baldo smudge, which, as you know, is panel borders. That was all Baldo smudge was capable of. Doggone it. Okay, there we go. Now today is Tuesday, and I'm debating whether I've got to start another character sheet tonight, so I can make sure I want to get all these commissioned things done. If I start tonight, I should have it done before too long. I'm getting a little bit better at it too. Okay, there we go. Comics are not meant to be that fancy. Tell you what. Because I was looking at a page somebody had done online, and it was clearly, if it wasn't just flat out traced or copy pasted, it was definitely light boxed. It was one of those two things. It had that sort of lifeless, here's the photo and I've just traced it and then I've blocked in all the shadows, right, kind of deal. And not only that, it was like kind of a martial arts scene, but it was done from whatever photo reference was also very stiffly posed, like, as if for some kind of martial arts magazine. It's not an action pose. It was more like shots of kata movements or something. So there was no real action. Like, it was frozen. It was a moment that where, you could tell the guy was frozen before they took the picture. Like, he was standing as still as possible as they were taking the picture. And it's several figures and silhouettes and things. And reverse silhouettes, like white on black. And I was just so disappointed in it. And I realized, but that's the look, right? Is that the look now? Nobody gives a crap about illustration. I assume, it's so lifeless and dead that people do care, that they see something like that and they think the same thing I do. Maybe they don't articulate it the same way, but they go, what am I looking at here? Okay, you did some martial arts stuff, but what did you accomplish? What did you do? And it becomes very tough. And it's not nice to point that out. I mean, I know. Because a lot of people just struggle. They try for years and they still can't get to the point of telling a story in 6 panels because they want to do something experimental or weird. I'm taking out all the grids. I'm going to show a giant head on one side and I'll, you know. I'm always left with the same kind of impression of, like, did this person see this in a comic sometime themselves and they were so impressed by that? Because it's not impressive when you actually see it. Is this the sort of nailed it syndrome? Like, they see something and they go, I'm going to not be like everybody else and use a grid. I'm going to do something unique. I'll show a giant head. That'll really impress everybody. So unexpected. I'm subverting expectations. And, and I realize I'm being kind of a jerk about this, but it's, once again, this is me being disappointed. All right. Not that my own stuff, perfect, it's not. But it is honest. You see me drawing it, right? You can see. That's one of the motivations for putting it online is that, people can see that the process that goes into it and what I'm trying to accomplish. And it isn't really about the art. It's about what you're expressing in the art. Here's that great quote by Jack Kirby I put in the video a couple of days ago. Michelangelo is a better artist, but he can't do what you do. He can't tell the story of Dick Tracy or, Spider-Man or whoever else, or in my case, Prometheus Powers and Stardust. I'm kind of like ghosting where the ear was to make sure I put it in the right place. I'm not sure if I did. I'm going to assume that I did. I didn't always do such a good job at drawing Prometheus Powers. If you want to see the very first Prometheus Powers in 2021, let me show you what it looks like. There he is. It's not that good. That's okay. I kind of like that one. You can tell I didn't know how to draw noses. I had a hard time with foreshortened perspective. Mouths, noses, eyes. I think my eyes haven't changed a whole heck of a lot. But if you're persistent and diligent and industrious, you can go so much further. And how I draw this comic, I will look back in a couple of years and I'll go, I'm miles beyond this. I hope. I hope I do. Everything's a matter of a constant struggle, constant refining, striving, right? And I'm hoping that my hands look better, a year from now. And the more you draw, the more classes you take, the more you're going to improve. As long as you put the work in. Try not to get lazy. So these polka dots. There's such a silly costume element along with the triangles. Polka dots and triangles. I love Stardust. He's so cool. It should almost be like the dust clears, when he really clobbered him in the last panel. If you look at this panel, it's like whammo, he gets him, right? Hang on. There it is. Whammo, he gets him. And it's nothing. And he's like, you hit pretty hard. Harder than I remember. In this way, I feel like I'm developing the character of Stardust. Definitely a guy who could take a punch. Does that look like a good smirk? Let's say if I... Shouldn't I be like a little bit of a smile when he says that? Come on. It's okay, now we're stuck. Also, his waist is too small. I don't know what's happening. What's going on? Hey, what I'm going to do. We're going to cancel out and bring it back. Hey, DJ, bring that back. Here we go. All right. Oh, he's still... For some reason, it didn't save. And we start to panic, and I think, oh no, I'm running out of memory. I'm having... Maybe the iPad itself is having problems. I've had it for 3 years now. 4 years. I got it in September of 2019. By the way, happy Halloween, everyone. It's Halloween. I've got one last Inktober to do, and I'm done. I think I should go and do NaNoWriMo as well. I've never done it. I should say I've never completed it. That's one it's like I couldn't commit to it. As much as I'd love to be a guy that can write novels. I think people like to fantasize of themselves as writers more than they actually like to do the writing. Same with comics. We'll make this smile a little more obvious. One thing I'm not 100% sure of is those eyes. I think we're going to keep them. I mean, they're just a little bit canted, a little bit too evil. But at the same time, I mean, it is Stardust. So you want to put this sort of Mike Sikowski-esque panel. CC back. All right, let's throw in our I call this bubbles. All right. Now right up here. I basically want 3/4 of a letter's height. And I could even put it over here to use the panel borders. But I think I want it closer to his head. Let's put it right there. All right. Then we just have to erase. And there we go. We're getting hooked into page 15 now. All right, now this panel right here, let's go ahead and start it. This is going to be a harder one. This is a rear view of a character smashing. This is Stardust just clobbering Prometheus right here. And in case you're wondering, it's definitely a swipe in that I looked at other comics for the idea, but I drew it myself. He's got one of those shirts that goes all the way down his back, where the collar opens up in the back. Yeah, I'm not against swipes at all. Like when you're taking a look at something, but you should do your own. Like when you see it, just get your visual impression of it and see what you can come up with. The language of comic books has been explored pretty darn well, and you can use that vocab. Let's do it like a tree branch or something. Maybe a rock. Let's take a look at our figure. He has like these boots, and the benefit of the boots is that it's a contour line that gives us more information about the curvature of his leg, so it helps um, our perspective look less questionable. that's if that's any. And this is one of the toughest areas to do is the musculature on the back. And even though it's going to be shown less dramatically than the one panel that we saw on the last page, that superpower hit that Prometheus lands, we know that this panel is hitting way harder, right? We know that it's not even a difficult thing at all. For Stardust to hit pretty darn hard. In fact, it's pretty much enough to incapacitate him right there. We don't even have to do much details on this part of the figure just because it's kind of like absorbed by the. We're going to do, you see over here, I've got focus lines. So we're going to do some focus lines from this incredible smash attack here. If I can control my line width. This is another pretty common perspective problem. The curvature of the yoke, the collar, goes this way, but the angle is going the other way. So we're going to do like a top angle, which shows the correct angle, and then these lower parts are just meant to be sort of like structural.